talk to me.
I open the pages, they talk to me.
Come on now, brew, walk for me.
Urban Gorilla, that sauce on me.
How was I pay the cost on me?
He the boss man, he got up on that cross for me.
He the boss man, he got up on the cross for me.
He the boss man, he got up on that cross.
Yeah.
I open the pages, they talk to me.
Come on now, brew, walk for me.
Urban Gorilla, that sauce on me.
How was I pay the cost on me?
He the boss man, he got up on that cross for me.
And redeemed his people, and have raised up an horn of salvation for us.
How we're getting the salvation, of course, that horn is talking about who the world calls Christ, right?
I'm gonna put a mic on.
For us, in the house of his servant David.
Now, the entire earth is not of the house of David. It's specifically talking about the 12 tribes of the nation of Israel, right?
Yeah, I need to put this
Verse
mic
7
on.
then. As he spake by the mouth of his holy prophets, which have been since the world began, that we should be saved from our enemies,
We should be saved from our enemies, right?
and from the hand of all that hate us.
So, like I said, a lot of churches say, well, he's coming to save everyone, but salvation is being saved from your enemies. You know what I'm saying? Give me Deuteronomy. Go ahead, finish that up.
Verse 72, to perform the mercy promised to our fathers and to remember his holy covenant.
See? But now, here's the main question. Now, I did tell you that we are Israelites. Let me show you one scripture real quick, just evidence showing. But so far from what we read, how you feel about it? Okay.
Hey, what up?
All praises. I can agree with that. All praises. I'm listening to what you're saying. Absolutely.
I gotta take that.
And we'll always say that, like, don't believe what we say. Just go.
You ain't forcing none down. We having a conversation.
All praises. We building right now. We
That's how
building.
that's supposed to happen.
All praises.
Like I told you from the beginning, I'm willing to listen to what you got to say. I ain't shutting you off.
I ain't mad at
I
you.
ain't, that's your stuff, this my stuff.
All
I can do
praises.
is listen and grab the knowledge. You know what I'm
All
saying? Knowledge
praises.
is power.
There we go. Deuteronomy 28:68. Because now, watch this. Now tell me if this sounds familiar historically. Go ahead.
This is Deuteronomy chapter 28 and verse 68.
Right?
And the Lord shall bring thee into Egypt again.
Now, are you familiar with Moses and the story of Egypt? He went up to Pharaoh and said, let my people go, right? What were his people doing in Egypt that he had to say to Pharaoh, let my people go? They're being enslaved, right? So now, if there's a mandate that came out in America and it said all blacks, Hispanics, and natives, y'all are going back on the plantation. What does that mean? We're going back into slavery, right? So to the Israelites, when they hear the word Egypt, what do you think it means?
Slavery.
Exactly. And the word Egypt comes from the Hebrew word matazarium, meaning double straits or between a rock and a hard place. In other words, slavery, right? So let's read that again from the top.
Deuteronomy 28 and 68. And the Lord shall bring thee into Egypt again
I'm going to bring you into slavery again.
with ships.
Now, they walked out of Egypt. That you don't need a ship to go from Israel to Egypt. So who went to slavery by way of ships historically? We did, right? Okay.
By the way whereof I spake unto thee, thou shalt see it no more again.
Meaning they're not going to see that same type of slavery in Egypt again. They're talking about a new Egypt, right? Go on.
And there ye shall be sold.
What happened when we got off them boats? Did we get sold to our friends? So, let's see who it said that they would be sold to.
And there ye shall be sold unto your enemies.
So, who were we sold to? Our enemies. Now, remember how we read in Luke? To be salvation, to be saved from our enemies and out of the hand that hate us. So that salvation applies to those who have been sold to their enemies and are in their enemy's hand. That happened to us, right? So salvation is qualified to us to get saved from who? So-called Caucasian man, right? Keep going.
For bondmen
Slave man.
and bondwoman,
Slave woman.
and no man shall buy you.
And that word buy in the Hebrew means to redeem. Have we been redeemed out of our situation? Now, I will say this. Now, we don't have the chains on our necks and things like that.
Physically, yes.
Physically,
We'll say physically.
I'll give you that. But systematically and mentally and things like that, we still in bondage, yes? Now, we can see in that one verse, we can see literally our slave trade written in the Bible during the time of Moses, thousands of years before it happened. You see what I'm saying? So that's something that was prophesied, and it actually happened to us. How you know this, how we know that the Bible is real is when we can read and see that prophecy becomes history. You see what I'm saying? So how you feel about that verse right there? Do you believe that holds to be true?
I believe all of it.
All praises to the Most High, King.
That's right.
Oh, and
We're not here to debate about that. It's just a new outlook on it. It's a new description. It's a
all
new,
praises.
It's a new.
Take it home and go look it up.
All praises. Now here's another question. Why do you think that happened to us?
I think there's a plan for us, and if you don't go through something, there's no victory. There's no triumph.
I can see that. I can see
so
that.
if everything was easy peasy, what would you need God for?
I agree with you on
You
that.
gotta have something to give God praise for. You gotta have something to triumph.
Exactly.
If my life was so easy, I would look at him and say, well, y'all, you say all this good stuff, but he ain't did that for me. You know what I'm saying? So you got to go through something.
Exactly. And how you
be able
gonna
to appreciate what you've been brought through?
Exactly. And how you gonna get better if you don't go through nothing?
Exactly.
But let me show you why it happened.
The Bible also says iron sharpens iron.
Exactly. There you go. And this is iron sharpening iron right now.
Exactly.
Now there's an actual reason. Now watch this.
This is Deuteronomy 28 and verse 15.
Uh huh.
But it shall come to pass,
Right.
if thou wilt not hearken unto the voice of the Lord thy God,
Read.
to observe to do all his commandments,
Right.
and his statutes,
Uh-huh.
which I commanded this day,
So if we don't listen to God and keep His laws, statutes, and commandments, as it's written through Genesis and Deuteronomy,
that all these curses shall come upon thee and overtake thee.
and in that verse 68, that actually happened to us, right? So what do you think we didn't do?
Oh, they didn't do none of the things that he told them to do.
There you go,
And
brother.
if anything, they did the complete opposite. of
Exactly.
everything he told them to do.
Exactly. And the Most High is not a
They
man that He
went
should
to
lie.
making other gods, and yeah, so they was big slapping God in the face.
Exactly. Hey, look, and the Lord is not a man that He should lie. Come on. Now give me Deuteronomy 1:1. Now let's see the audience that Moses was talking to. This is just to solidify, because he was speaking to a certain people, and this happened to a certain people.
Deuteronomy 1 and 1. These be the words which Moses spake unto all Israel.
You see that? Now, all Israel are the blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans that we know on this side of the hemisphere. All right, but like we said earlier, let God be true and every man a liar. Go home and you do your own research. All right, King? Come.
You own some. All right, bro.
But you have a good one. You get these three things. Get all of them home.
Get all praise, Yahweh, Shem Yahweh Shai. Kwame Asherala. Shalom.